Okay, so let's talk about how to do it. I'm going to grab an iPad, preferably one that doesn't have the cover on it. These ones here just have a silicone case, protect it, but there's no cover because it's just easier that way. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it on and get to the camera and switch it over to video mode, okay? Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this is not the greatest of situations here as far as, I'm just going to make sure it's all centered in there nicely. Yep, that looks really good. Okay. As far as it's got to pick up audio, and of course it's going to be in a loud classroom, so you might want to pick a time that you either can get everybody on your side and be nice and quiet, or come at after school or something where you can record it nice and quietly. So maybe plan it during class period and come do it later, but you need it relatively quiet and speak with a nice loud voice, because the little microphone on the bottom is what it's going to pick up your voice. Okay, there is a microphone down there and it will work out well. So for this example, I'm just going to do this Christmas tree, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a green piece of paper in here and demonstrate that for you now. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to this camera so you see what it's like. But essentially, this is what you're doing. You're going to do it all with that camera facing down here to show somebody. And there's lots of examples on this page of explainer videos. So just go ahead and watch how I do it, and then you go ahead and do it. Okay? Can't wait to see what you do. Okay, so here I am, and I'm actually standing up next to the animation table. I'm going to sit down in a moment, but I wanted to explain to you that you kind of got to know the edges. So you kind of got to watch the iPad to see where the edges are. And in my case, I got a ruler and I moved it just a little bit off camera so I know where the bottom edge is, just so I don't come out of the shot. I've also got a podcast playing. I'm sitting down now, but I've got a podcast playing in the background because I wanted to kind of let you see and hear what it's like in a classroom, because right now there's no students in here and I didn't want it to sound like, oh, it's gonna be perfect when you do it. So I do have a podcast playing, but if your voice is nice and loud, even though everybody else is gonna hear you, it's a good way to do the recording. So I was gonna originally get one out of this origami book, but I realized that this was based for origamis that are a longer piece of paper, where I've got true origami paper, which is square. So I had to go online and I found myself an origami fish, and it's called origamiway.com, and it's got lots of projects in there. So let's go ahead and do this one right now. So step number one is you just want to fold it along the diagonal to make, corner to corner to make a diagonal. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Step one, we're going to do that. Unfold it. Okay, and then step two is we're going to do the same thing but the opposite direction here, okay? So when you're left with those first two steps being done, you have this, okay, with these two fold creases right exactly in the middle, cutting it diagonally across it. Okay, so I'm going to open it up just like you see here, and now I'm going to fold the top back and then unfold it. So I'm just going to fold that top back right in half. Okay, and then unfold it. So now we've got this happening, okay? And then I'm going to poke it with in the middle. And you see how that popped it up just like that? Poking in the middle, popped it up. Okay, and then I'm going to bring these sides together like this, okay? You see that? You want to see that one again? So once I poked it in the middle, it was like this. And then I poked it in the middle and it just reversed on itself. And then I squeeze those things in, and then I creased it so that it makes a nice little fold just like that. Remember, this is going to be a fish, what we're going to do here. Okay, so I'm going to rotate it so it points to the left here, and then I'm going to fold the bottom corner up just a little above the center. So that would be center there, and I'm going to go a little above the center. Okay, and then I'm going to fold the top flap over the bottom one just like this. Okay, there we go. And then, once I flip it over, we have ourselves a little fish. Let me go get my marker and I'll show it to you. Okay, so we could just put a little eyeball on it right here. Oh, this little eyeball. Nice little smiley fish. And then if I wanted to, I could, probably put some colors on here like this. But, there we have a fish. Beautiful, right? Look at that. Swimmy, 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 swimmy. That is how you do an origami fish. All right, see how easy that was? Okay, now, it's not the most complicated thing in the world. Of course, I expect yours to be basic still. These are second graders that are going to do it, but a little more complicated than the threefold fish. And also, could you make it a little more prettier? I was just watching the playback now, and I should have added some plants and some interesting things in the background like they do on all those cool Instagram ones. Just make it look good, not just plain a white table with a green piece of paper on it. Kind of boring. Don't ever turn in something that bad. But anyhow, I think you get the idea. So watch some of the other examples and have fun.